All right, plenty of movers which will play out, but Kunal Bothra joining us in the studio. First on the Nifty, Kunal. Global setup looking weaker than anticipated. To do a quick recap for the viewers who are just joining us, the global setup looks weak. Oil also supportive. Oil prices continue to weaken. So in that sense, favorable, mixed kind of cues, but of course the implied open indicating a muted kind of a start.
Yeah, but aren't we habitual with this? 26,000, the moment we reach there, the markets go into some sort of a correction, global, local data point. So I don't see this as a surprise yet again for the index. We're just trying to consolidate at this 26,000 mark. Maybe I think post, some sort of a trigger in terms of news flow, especially on tariffs is where I would anticipate that the markets would come back into break out of the new highs. But then I think it's okay that the markets are consolidating, even if it drift a little bit lower from this 26,000 mark broadly. I think I will still assume that the markets are now sort of prone to this kind of a trending habit for the Nifty over the near term.
What about Nifty Bank, Kunal? We've seen the base for the Nifty Bank has gone up, right? Means earlier it was between 58,000 to 50,500, now 55,500 to 59,000. So the base has gone up for the Nifty Bank from here on.
Yeah, Bank Nifty is the strongest one, and that's one of the reasons why our markets have been able to absorb a lot of shocks as such. Because when you see large cap names down by 6-7%, Bajaj Finance, Trent, etc., these stocks over the last few weeks, there has been a possibility that maybe the markets could have drifted lower. But the fact that the banking index remained strong, buoyant, I think was one of the reasons why Nifty did not fall under such a kind of a sharp selling pressure, and we managed to absorb this negativity and bounce back from this 300 to 400 mark. I believe that the range in the Bank Nifty on the higher side has shifted up significantly higher. The best part about the banking index is that you're seeing a very good mix of the banking index. PSU banks, private sector banking names, mid-cap private sector banking stocks. You look at the likes of Federal Bank, AU Small Finance Bank. I think these stocks have done remarkably well, and they are holding on to their gains which they have achieved in the last 2-3 months. The PSU banking stocks have moved up one notch higher. The private sector banking large cap names, the likes of ICICI Bank, they have moved up 5%, 6% higher from the previous swing lows. So the mix of the banking index is improving. I'm still not saying that it's one of the best mix for the banking index, because you ideally require the private sector large cap names to perform well, and then follows the PSUs and the mid cap end. This time the mix is a little different, but then no complaints till the time the Bank Nifty is doing very well.
And what of the IT index, Kunal? Because that's the other one which has been supportive all through last week. And it's held up okay through this week as well. What of that? Because that could be one area of support.
Yeah, that is one area of support, but I would still believe that we are still into that nascent stage of a rally for these IT stocks. And the fact that you come closer to resistance and you immediately slip from that resistance point tells you that maybe the index is not yet ready for a big strong breakout as such. You might see those minor breakouts, minor pullbacks which can keep on happening for the IT stocks, but largely as a trend, like what we saw for, say, the auto stocks a couple of months back, the PSU banking names, defense names, etc., that's missing for the IT stocks as a zing. Even on the short-term charts, I think just last week or so, the IT index had come closer to a breakout of the 200 moving average, but failed to cross over those levels. That's the first litmus test which we wait out for. So maybe another couple of percentage points higher for the Nifty IT index is where we may expect a breakout. But till that time, I think one should just about stay very, very stock specific.
Okay, Kunal, stock ideas this morning.
Yeah, so two buy calls. The first one which I would suggest would be a buy on Maruti. It's an interesting chart because the auto sector now seems to be going into a turnaround on the positive side. So would look out for 16,500 as a target for Maruti and stop us at 15,500. Hudco is the other stock which yesterday gave a very strong breakout. A bullish engulfing kind of a candlestick pattern, and the stock coming back into a swing breakout about 235, 240 levels. So would look out for targets in the range of 250 and stop us at 232.
Okay, so those are your top picks for the day. Let's go across. Ashesha standing by with all of the stocks that ought to be on your radar today on the back of news. Ashesha, what do you have for us?
Well, yes, first let's talk about the two block deals that are likely to happen today. And first up is Paytm, where Elevation Capital is looking to sell about 2% stake in the company. This is likely to happen at a floor price of 1281 rupees per share, implying nearly 4% discount as compared to yesterday's closing price. And the total transaction size could stand at about 1640 odd crore. Emphasis, meanwhile, Blackstone is looking to sell nearly 9.5% stake at 4.5% discount as compared to yesterday's closing. Total deal size is about 4,600 crore. JSW Infra, on the back of that big acquisition that they've announced of Oman Port project, this has been done through company subsidiary via a joint venture, and the total project cost will stand at about 3,700 odd crores. JSW Energy, on the back of an acquisition, on the back of a resignation that has come through, where Director Finance and KMP Pritesh Vinay has resigned, and he looks to pursue other opportunities outside of the group. So big resignation that has come in. Keep an eye out on this counter as well. And PTC Industries, on the back of their capacity expansion plans, where the company has announced major expansion at their Mehsana, Gujarat casting facility. They are looking to add about 50,000 square feet capacity. And this is to scale industrial exports and also to meet domestic demand. So on the back of this capacity expansion plan that has come through, keep an eye out on PTC Industries as well.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Ashesha. In fact, where Paytm is concerned, you also have SAIF partners who will be selling stake, and SAIF owns roughly 16% of Paytm. So, not sure if they'll continue to do that, but market won't take this in the best possible fashion, likely, and it's around a 4% discount, which all of these, Elevation as well as SAIF partners, will be selling Paytm at. Kunal, is Paytm on your radar, and if so, what are the levels you're monitoring on a Paytm?
Yeah, it's been an okay chart. I think the stock has done reasonably well. My assumption is that even if the stock corrects from this 1320 odd levels where it's closed yesterday and falls back to sub 1300 mark, it will still be an okay kind of a correction, rather a much anticipated or needed correction for the stock price, given the way the stock has rallied in the last few months. The fact that the stock has come back towards a multi-year high at 1300 plus levels, the strength the stock has shown in the last few months, I think has been quite stellar as such for Paytm. So a bullish chart on the longer term basis, and especially the recovery the stock has shown from those sub 500 levels. I think at current levels, maybe if there is a patch of consolidation, that should be taken as a positive sign for the stock.
Yeah, I mean, but the stock has run up a lot, right, in the last one year, and safe selling off is also, putting some pressure on the stock, and there will be more. I think they hold more stake in this company, so that overhang will be there on Paytm. There's another block deal which is expected, which is on Emphasis. Kunal, do you have a view on Emphasis?
Yeah, Emphasis could be a underperforming stock, Sajid, because the stock has been into a corrective phase since the last many months. In fact, the stock on close yesterday was very close towards a breakdown of its 3-month or a 4-month swing low. So that itself indicates that the stock has been very, very weak in terms of the charts. And we've discussed on the sector also that how the IT stocks are showing signs of struggle. So I think on the back of this, there could be a sign where the underperformance may continue for Emphasis. The breakdown in terms of the support is at 2670 mark for the stock, and it just closed 0.5% higher from those levels. So maybe a break below those levels, we could be looking at near-term targets of at least 2500, 2550 levels for Emphasis.
Okay. PTC Industries, is that at all on your radar, Kunal? That huge capacity expansion, but Goldman Sachs has a target price of around 24,000 on this one. That's what really stands out for me. We'll get you that report. But do you have a view?
Yeah, it's been an excellent chart, Harsh. I looked at this stock, some time back. When the stock came out of a huge consolidation, almost like I think a 2-year consolidation, starting from 2023 mid somewhere towards 2025 mid, where the stock had managed to break past about the 15,500 kind of levels for PTC Industries. So I think it's been a fantastic chart as such. The fact that the stock has consolidated for the last 2 years and then provided a breakout indicates that we are looking at a further continuation up move and something which could last for at least few quarters for PTC Industries. So it's a bullish chart. 15,500 remains to be a support till the time the stock is trading above those separate levels. The trend looks on the stronger side for PTC Industries.
Okay, so PTC Industries is the other one in focus. 26,000 crore in market cap. Another set of stocks. Let's get you all of those. Let's round up the list. Kanishka here with the second set of stocks which will be in news today. Kanishka, what do you have for us?
Absolutely. Lots of stocks to focus on. Now, across the board. Now, first up, let's put the spotlight on the IT sector. Firstly, we'll talk about HCL Tech, which has launched its Physical AI Innovation Lab in collaboration with its global peer, NVIDIA. So we'll wait out for how the market reacts to this development. Other than that, from the auto space, we have Tata Motors. The European Union has cleared Iveco and Tata Motors deal. So yes, all eyes on that, and of course the contours of the deal going forward. Other than that, from the pharma space, we have AstraZeneca, which has signed a second brand partnership with Sun Pharma for sodium zirconium cyclosilicate for Indian distribution. Now remember, AstraZeneca will market Lokelma and Sun Pharma will market Gimeliant. Now AstraZeneca is going to retain its IP and market authorization. So yes, AstraZeneca and Sun Pharma, both of them are going to be in focus. All eyes on that. Another counter from the auto space, that is TVS Motors. It has launched TVS Apache RTR 180 in Kenya on November 17, that is yesterday. Now it is expanding its premium motorcycle range in East Africa through this partnership. So yes, waiting out for how the African market reacts to this new product, as well as how the Indian markets react to it as far as the stock movement is concerned. Other than that, lastly, we have DCX India. Two order wins here. Company has received purchase orders worth 16.5 crore rupees for cable and wire harness assemblies. And yes, apart from that, its subsidiary has also received 6.5 crore rupees worth of orders for PCB assemblies. So yes, all eyes on that and how the market reacts to that. DCX India, that's the last stock for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Kanishka, for rounding that up. But